Hi, welcome back to my channel. We're going to talk about Tesla's possible entrance into the S&P 500 and what the entire stock market's doing as a whole, especially with the election and clearly with the pandemic. Things are moving up and down every single day. They're changing rapidly and you never know what to expect. So we can see on the day, I am down $72 or 0.6%, which is not bad, but certainly not good to see. Over the past week, up about 1%. We can start to see that volatility. Over the past month, up 6.5%, or $742, up $1,700 over the past 3 months. We zoom out to the past year, up $3,059, or about 34%, and all-time up 31.93%, or $2,921. Obviously, I passed the $12,000 mark again this week in my portfolio. That's been a big milestone for me over the past few weeks, and something that I'm clearly very happy to see. If we go back here, we can see the total investment in my portfolio is now $9,150. I did deposit another $150 last week. With that, I made a couple of different moves. The first was selling my last share of Corning, or GLW, at $35.18. I needed to get rid of that to trim down my portfolio and to have a little bit more room to purchase what I wanted to. After that, I purchased one share of Apple at $121.09. Apple is the newest holding in my portfolio, and with the iPhone 12 coming out very recently, I think that should be a great stock pick. Then I purchased one more share of SPHD, which of course is my S&P 500 ETF. I purchased that share at $34.41, now up to 28 shares there. And the last move was $50 more Bitcoin, or 0.0044 Bitcoin. New position is 0.2551. The price there was $11,345.84. Ton of movement in my portfolio, and like I said, Tesla has had big news with the potential that they may join the S&P 500, so we'll talk about that right now. As always, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what you'd like to see next. I am doing my best to make it happen. Here we can see an article from CNN Business by Julia Horowitz titled, "Tesla's Knocking on the Door of the S&P 500. So they say Tesla could have been added to the S&P 500 earlier this year. It was snubbed, but the shares are up 400%. Their pitch appears to be strengthening, according to this article. They said Tesla recorded its best quarterly profit to date on Wednesday and still has hopes to hit its target of selling 500,000 cars this year. Its stock is up another 5% in the pre-market day. So this gives us a pretty good idea of what Tesla stock has done over the last year. So we saw this very large dip in April, and they have just exploded since then. Growth really that no one could have predicted. Tesla's profit of $874 million, excluding special items, is up nearly 156% from a year ago and double what it earned in the second quarter. Blew through Wall Street's estimates. It says the company is now worth more than Toyota, Disney, and Coca-Cola and has notched 5 consecutive quarters of growth. According to criteria set out by S&P Dow Jones indices, it should be eligible for inclusion in the S&P 500. Dan Ives, an analyst at Wedbush Securities, says that Tesla was overlooked by the S&P 500 because of the large amount of money the company makes by selling regulatory credits. It's netted $825 million off the sale of the credits in the last 2 quarters alone. He says that the results posted Wednesday indicate the company's core business is only getting stronger, with vehicle deliveries hitting an all-time high despite the difficult environment created by the pandemic. And here he just goes on to say that we know how difficult the pandemic's been for a lot of companies, and he believes that if Tesla can get through the pandemic, they should be able to succeed no matter what. He also says, this is huge, they have the first mover advantage, and the potential market is huge given that battery-powered cars have accounted for just 2% of global auto sales so far this year. That said, the company's stock volatility may still be a point of concern for S&P Dow Jones indices. The strong rally in 2020 has been peppered with large sell-offs, which could shift the benchmark significantly if Tesla is eventually added. I don't know if Tesla will be added to the S&P 500. That's not something that I'm particularly worried about. It would certainly be good for them. The bigger question is, with the strongest earnings they've ever reported, can Tesla continue to make money, and can they continue to increase their stock price? They don't pay a dividend, of course. That's something I'm going to continue to watch. I wouldn't say I've been a harsh critic of Tesla, but I'm not their biggest fan stock-wise. I think a lot of this growth is a bit out of hand, especially when they talk about being bigger than Toyota, value-wise, because Toyota produces 8 times more cars than Tesla. Certainly something I'll be watching, but let me know what you think about that down in the comments. First stock for today is going to be Sunrun. I always talk about this one. Total return is only up $1,500 now. If you're new to my channel, you'd say, well, that's great. What do you mean? But if we go out to the past week, we can see down 11.5%. Over the past month, only down 2.5%. But if we go up to here, as of October 7th, it was trading at $82 and it's down to $56. After the merger with Vivint Solar, things have been very rocky for Sunrun, so I'm not sure what I want to do with this position. Clearly, $1,500 in gains is amazing, but that was over $2,000. We zoom out to the last 3 months, we can see that drop is very large, but considering that it was trading for $30 back there in July, definitely has performed very well. This next earnings call, I think, could be pretty interesting, so I'll keep track of that, but that will be November 5th. So definitely something I want to continue watching. Let me know what you think about Sunrun. Next stock to talk about is Microsoft. Of course, it's been very good for me. It's been very good for the economy as a whole, and it is one of the most valuable companies on earth. Total return up $143 or 15% on my 5 shares. So over the past week, down about 2%, not concerned. Up 7% on the month. Over the past 3 months, up 8%. Over the past year, up 58%. And 5 years now, up 355%. Again, earnings are going to be huge here, and by the time this video comes out, this earnings call will already have happened, but I think based off of everything they're doing cloud infrastructure wise and the patterns from the past, there's no reason to believe that Microsoft is going to struggle for this quarter, so I will continue purchasing Microsoft if at all possible. Next, we have to talk about AT&T and their immense struggles. So we can see I'm down about $47 on this all time, or nearly 16% on my 9 shares. Average cost is $33.01 and it's trading below $28. So over the past week is up a tad. Over the past month, pretty much flat. 3 months down 7%, year down 27%, and 5 years now down 17%. I always talk about this one. I like AT&T because of the very strong dividend here, and there's very few players in the cell phone industry here in the United States. So here there's a lot of news about what's going on. AT&T stock on track to snap 10-day losing streak after big wireless subscriber beat. Buy rating here is not great. You can see a lot of analysts are saying to hold, and the earnings are a bit of a concern as they continue to drop, but definitely one that I'll continue paying attention to because of the strong dividend. And like I said, with that merger between T-Mobile and Sprint, there's really only 3 players in the US market. Next is the smaller of my REITs, Berit. This one I have covered before. It has struggled a ton, but I think now could be a good time to buy. It's starting to recover, and at the same time, it's still very, very cheap. So total returns down $37 or 21% on this all time. We zoom out to last week, up 0.5%. Over the month, up almost 9%. 3 months, up 6.4%. Over the past year, down 32%, and over the past 5 years, down 19%. REITs got hit extremely hard during the pandemic, and certainly we're not over it now, but hopefully they will not be hit as hard even this winter heading into this spring. So we can see it topped out around $10 and bottomed out here, I believe, around $4. So has recovered quite a bit. They did cut their dividend, which has turned a lot of people off from them. You can see the earnings are slightly downwards, but they have been consistent at the very least. So that dividend in April was 0.1375, so 13.75 cents a share, and then in July they cut that in half to 7.7 cents a share. I do have 21 shares there. It's a cheap one, so I may continue purchasing more, but let me know what you think. The last stock for today will be Apple, trading at $115, the newest stock in my portfolio. So we can see total return down about $6 on the past week, or down 5%. Stock market's the stock market. I'm not concerned about a 5% loss over the last week. So if we go to the past week, we can see down about 4%. Over the past month, up 6%. 3 months, up 27%. Over the past year, up 90%. And 5 years now, up 315%. Strong buy rating here. Apple has, as I mentioned, strong buy rating. Very few people are saying to sell it. The earnings have been a little bit inconsistent. Q4, it looks like. Analysts are projecting not great earnings, but definitely something to continue watching. And with the iPhone 12 coming out, I think it could be interesting to see whether or not that helps or hurts their business in the short term. Of course, these are all long-term plays for me, so I'm not concerned about it at all. A lot of people think that Apple is really going to be able to control some of this oligopoly in the market. There's only a few smartphone manufacturers, and certainly having their own operating system helps a ton. So I'm very happy about that pickup. Last thing we talk about in every one of my videos is Bitcoin. Trading at $12,900, my total return is now up to $820 or 33%. This is very interesting because I'd like to see Bitcoin be trading lower right now so I can purchase more and make some more money over the next year, year and a half. So on the day, down about 0.5%, up 14% on the week. Over the past month, up 24%. 3 months, up 35%. Over the past year, up 60%. 5 years, up 4,800%. So, as I mentioned, and as I mention in every video, I will be continuing to purchase Bitcoin. It's something I believe in, and I'm going to hold until hopefully December of next year, when my estimates are trading anywhere from $120,000 to $400,000. Now makes up 27% of my portfolio, and the quantity is about 25.5% of a single Bitcoin. If I can get that up to half a Bitcoin by next year, or even a whole Bitcoin, I would be very, very happy with that. Thanks for watching till the end of the video, and I'll be back with another one next week.